Hi, good morning. My name is Michelle. I'm from the Technology, Innovation, Environment and Sustainability Department in ISIS, Malaysia. I'm a researcher. Today I would like to share with you some of my viewpoints or findings from the current Sustainable Development Goals agenda, which is the post-2015 agenda, the successor of our Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, which was established in 2000. So, from rhetoric to realization, why SDGs matters. As you all might have known that from the previous MDGs, which has 8 goals, addressing mainly on poverty eradication and targeted to the least developing country and developing country with the help of developed countries. SDG is a completely new approach and new framework, which is calling for more universal goals with both developing and developed countries. It has 17 goals with 169 targets. So what is it so different compared with SDGs and MDGs is that one, it is more before MDG was more socially focused with the social development agenda, and now it has a twin goal in the DNA policy, which comprises of sustainable development, and it is also more comprehensive as 15 years pass by. The complexity has risen, so the framework is more complex, and it addresses interlinkages between goals. For example, in Goal 12, which is ensuring sustainable consumption and production, this goal particularly is connected and linked with 12 other goals in the SDGs. And Goal 17 in SDGs addresses the means of implementation, which means means that the financing and the funding on operationalizing the other 16 goals is embedded in the framework. So there are 2 parts to SDGs in my point of view. One is the non-financial means of SDGs, which is how country is nationalizing SDGs as well as institutionalizing SDGs. And the second part of the implementation is how the country is operationalizing SDGs with the financial means. So the first part on nationalizing SDGs is many countries has failed or grasped or at the moment kind of overwhelmed with the complexity of SDGs. And also the awareness of sustainability is sometimes not there, and it's therefore difficult for countries to adopt the national implementation plan effectively, or there is a deficit of accountability or transparency and trust. Therefore, the acceptance and the ownership of SDGs at times is weak, which is how sometimes seen as irrelevant. However, the main gist of SDGs is to address silos and coordination among agencies, as well as the most important point of SDGs is the multi-stakeholder cooperation and partnership, which is embedded in the framework. So apart from it is no longer a top-down approach, it is a integrated approach which has many stakeholders complementing each other in achieving a common set of targets. So in 2 weeks, in mid of July, the finance ministers of countries of the globally were convened in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to have a meeting or discussion on financing sustainable development. This is the 3rd conference of its kind, whereby the first one was held in the year of 2002 after the MDGs, and countries will come up with means and tools, innovative financial tools in addressing these goals and how to operationalize these goals. And also in September 2015, there is a UN summit in New York where the leaders of the world will finally decide on SDGs and the SDGs and the agenda, and hence will be translated in the national level. My take on this meeting in 2 weeks is countries need to come together and come up with a more pragmatic financial tool which operationalize these goals through a more results-based financing method, whereby fundings and grants as well as in the government will only be acquired if the outputs of the project is realized. So with such methods, this window of opportunity can be capitalized, and more political diligence is needed to ensure that there is ownership, accountability, and the big data revolution to monitor and evaluate all these goals and progress of the goals. Thank you.